Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Arlington Heights, my childhood neighborhood. Well, partially. Grew up partially in Chicago and partially in Arlington Heights in my later teenage years. In my earlier years, grew up in Cragen Park, Chicago, but then the later teenage years, we moved up here to Arlington Heights. Some lovely homes, but you guys may have seen Arlington Heights last time when I was cycling through the winter. But now we are in the midst of May. And so you guys can see all the gorgeous trees sprouting their gorgeous leaves. Well, guys, what's on the agenda today? We are heading down to the Arlington Heights train station. And side note, as I'm cruising thinking about the trees here, some of Chicago's suburbs, some of America's suburbs, have this distinction calling themselves Tree City, USA. And I've come across one so far, which is Park Ridge, which is an area I cruise through on my morning commute. And so, thinking about these trees today, thinking why Arlington Heights does not have that distinction, as we do have very many trees. So that's one thing I need to research. This morning, and get back to you guys later. Well, anyway, so what's on the agenda today? We are heading downtown to sort of the South Loop area. Gonna go check out the health club over there, do an old swim, meet an old friend. And guys, as I was looking through the South Loop area, I came across Greektown, Chicago, where the Greek community started forming here in the late 1800s. So late 19th century, we started to have, actually, I think the first Greeks arrived in Chicago via the Mississippi River and then the little Illinois River in like 1840. But then by 1895, I think Chicago had like 36,000 Greeks, and so there was a big community there. And they started, I think, their first parish for the Greek Orthodox Church, and then they had sort of settled, in that little neighborhood on sort of near West Side, called sort of like the called the South Loop now. But very quickly they sort of became, they started setting up small businesses, and by the 1920s, some past Chicago Tribune writer had written an article in the Chicago Tribune indicating that the Greeks have now run the Italians out of the produce trade. the sort of the early Italians who I guess ran the produce trade from wholesale down to retail. Well, very quickly, within a span of maybe 30 years of the Greeks arriving, they said that they ran them out of the trade. Well, anyways, guys, I noticed that the Greek town is nearby there. And so, what do I hear on the radio yesterday? I hear, it's a lovely house there. I hear on the radio that it is the Greek Independence Day parade. They're celebrating their 200 something anniversary, like 200th anniversary of independence from the Turkish Empire, that is. It's all right, brother. And so, side note, guys, cruising through here, like last week, no, 2 weeks ago, there was a big film crew. I should have filmed something. There was a big film crew here, filming one of Quentin Tarantino's new movies. Not sure what it's called, but they were quick, man. They were like 5 a.m. in the morning. I noticed they're here with all these like trucks and everything and setting up the lights and all that stuff. And then like poof, 2 days and they were gone. So it was a quick filming session. It's probably just a quick little segment or something. So anyways, guys, oh, here's a like straight up Chicago style bungalow. These are, yeah, see these two houses here, guys? This is pretty much like a typical Chicago, like a single story Chicago bungalow. And these are like the farmhouses that more portray the history of the Arlington Heights sort of farming community. See, like that house there, that's like your typical Midwest farmhouse. I have seen some sort of Victorian Edwardian elements to some Arlington Heights houses. Some of the, it's like sort of called the period houses, the traditional houses, but not too many. See, these are mainly like this kind of sort of American style farmhouse, but they're gorgeous nonetheless. Well, anyways, guys, so Greek independence. I remember from when visiting Crete, we went through this little like historical museum and stuff in Herlakion, and I found out that under the Turkish Empire, you know, Greeks were like, for like I think 1200 years they were under the Turkish spell. And I believe that for 1200 years the Greek culture, language, all the morning, the Greek culture, the Greek language, just everything about being Greek was systematically being erased by the Turkish Empire. So after 1200 years of like the Greek culture disappearance, oh, see here, you guys can see there's the Arlington Heights Historical Museum, and kind of depicts like the earliest houses that were here, kind of depicting the farm life and everything, how it was. See, this is part of Arlington Heights Historical Society. See, you got your like wind chime flyer and stuff, and sometimes that acted as a pump, as a water pump. See, so you got your early style like Arlington Heights homes where people still had like where people had, you know, 200-300 acres and things like that. Yeah, Arlington Heights is a bit historic and a bit touristy because of the Arlington Heights racetrack and then little things like this. So anyways, guys, so systematically the Greek culture was sort of erased, you know, and you know, sometimes this sort of like emotional you know, violence upon someone, upon a nation, is, you know, quite detrimental. And I remember one of the facts that I learned from that trip was that it took the Greeks, like once they got their sort of like, I don't know if it was their independence, but they sort of became a sovereign nation at one point. And I recall the fella saying that it took the Greeks 400 years to regain their language, to relearn the culture, to, you know, to become sort of Greek again. You know, guys, so what we're gonna do, what the plan is then, is that, well, first of all, if we walk across the street, gotta hit the pedestrian signal. There we are. That should give us a light. So basically, guys, there's our gray man. So guys, basically what we're gonna do is head downtown, go for a quick swim, shower, and meet up with an old buddy, and we're gonna walk down to Greektown, see what happens. Because what happens normally is they lock down like 12 blocks of Greektown, and once they lock it down, it's just a big fest, you know. But like, yeah, like last week, you know, we had like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're down in the 60s. Like right now, it's like 52 degrees Fahrenheit, guys. You know, so like, and it's gonna be like in the mid 60s today. So, well, the weather, although, you know, mid 60s is really lovely. Like Chicagoans like to enjoy, you know, a nice Greek or like a you know, any of the Greek festivals, or any festivals, anything outside, you know, with a little more oomph to the climate. In any case, so yeah, we're gonna go down to Greektown and just see what develops. See, maybe we can get a nice gyro with some souvlaki. And oh, by the way, guys, very, very, very nice piece of information about Chicago's Greektown. You guys may have heard, or may not heard, of the Saganaki flaming cheese. And the funniest thing about the Saganaki is that a lot of Americans, especially here Chicagoans, do think that it's a Greek thing, you know. So you go over to Greece and you go sit down at a restaurant, and what happens is you go, oh, you know, we'd like to order a nice flaming cheese. Can we have a Saganaki, they say. Oh, hello guys. Suited and booted today in my newsboy cap. We got the old, oh, I forgot to say hello, introduce myself. Yes, Jungle Harry here, with my newsboy cap and my piranhas. See, these are the piranha sunglasses. Well, anyways, guys, so you sit down and you go, hey, I'd like to order myself a Saganaki. And then I swear to you guys that the Greek waiter looks at you, even though they speak very good English in Greece. The Greek waiter will look at you like you asked them the square root of something. Because the Saganaki, although it is a Greek thing, but only a Chicago Greek thing. It was actually invented in the in the Parthenon restaurant on Halsted Street in Chicago. So definitely, guys, if you don't want to confuse your waiter, and then they have to have a meeting about it because he calls in all the other waiters. They call in the owner. Hey, how can we, satisfy these fine American people? Uh, so so I learned that lesson while traveling Greece. So don't make that same mistake, guys. If you want to learn to order Greek, just go there and just see what happens. But anyways, guys, so yeah, that's gonna be the lovely plan, and I bet you Greek Town has a lot more to offer than the food. There is a museum there, guys. At I'm not sure. It's maybe Adams and Halstead, I think. Well, we're gonna get there. We're gonna show you where everything is, and yeah. So that's gonna be the plan, and I'll try to read up on the Saganaki, the history of the Saganaki. Like, of course, we know what restaurant it started at, but why and how and all the good juicy stuff. All right, guys. So thank you for tuning back in. Hasta la ciao ciao. Bye for now. Over and out from the concrete jungle of Chicago.